Hi guys, it's Mark from Cars and Cameras, and today we're going to talk about Sony a7C Mark II. Now I really wanted to see what this camera is all about. Now I've had the full-size version of this camera, because this is the compact size of this camera, which is the a7 IV, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But what's really cool about this camera is not only the size, but you have that flip-out screen and you have that built-in viewfinder. Which is really nice. And, you know, I've had a little bit to test out this camera, and we'll talk about what I think about it, the video, 4K video. But I really do like that viewfinder. So, you know, if you're on the fence, I know a lot of reviews already have talked about that viewfinder, you know, not being up to snuff, but I think the viewfinder is just fine. And I see that Sony has kind of made an improvement on the dangling little straps. They don't move. They don't make noise, which is kind of cool. So here on the side of the camera, you have your headphone jack, you got your USB-C for charging and power, you have one SD card slot, and you have a micro HDMI, and you have your headphone jack. So this is all very similar like you have on the ZV-E1. Now let's take a look at some 4K video out of this camera, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the same thing with the a7 IV, which I did not like when I picked one up. And I no longer have that camera. And this is why. It is the jelloing effect. Now, I did a fix in Final Cut Pro to fix this, and you can see it made a slight improvement, but it's still there. It's still there. Now, obviously, you're not going to be doing this exaggerated movements, but I wanted to do this to give you an idea because I want to be transparent on my channel because I buy all these cameras and my videos are not sponsored. Sony's not giving me cameras. So you can see there, that was Sony ZV-E1 footage, and you can see there's almost no rolling shutter. Now you can see here on these exaggerated pans, you can see there that kind of tearing, kind of jello effect. Well, that's what you get with this camera, and it's unfortunate because I really do like this camera a lot, but you know, I'm going to do some more testing with it. I don't know if I really like that viewfinder because the ZV-E1 doesn't have one, but you can see here the movements here, and I didn't move it quite as fast as the other one, but see like that kind of pan there, the other one, it kind of, you know, is kind of pulling, you know, and you don't have that. You know, this looks more professional. You know, I mean, this camera sensors is FX3, A7S3, A7S Mark III. So you can see there, even on that one there, you see that kind of warping. Now, I didn't fix these clips in Final Cut Pro. I just wanted to show you what they look like. But maybe it's a tad sharper, the image, but they're super close. I know some people are saying it's a little bit sharper, but I got to tell you right now, just in my initial testing, I would really have to be I'd be wowed by that viewfinder to keep this camera at this point. I would say the focusing and everything else is about the same. Now let's look at the ZV-E1. You can see the sharpness. You know, obviously these are both the same lens, but they look very similar actually, and I don't really see a difference, you know, in the sharpness. I might have a really good monitor and Samsung monitor, and I don't see a difference. So maybe just a slight difference, but the colors and everything are pretty much the same out of the two cameras. Like I said, if that ZV-E1 had a viewfinder, that would be it, you know, and obviously they could do it, but maybe they won't because they want you to buy the A7S Mark III, which is a few years old now. There you have it. So here is a comparison of the ZV-E1, and it's got a cage on it. And I will say that without a cage, the a7C Mark II, it feels really good in the hand, and of course it could benefit with a cage. It has a slightly bigger hand grip. With the cage that I have on the ZV-E1, that it does give you the one that I have on there, it does give you a bigger grip, and which is kind of nice. But I would say the layout of the cameras, and I believe, I don't know, I haven't looked at it real close, but the viewfinder, the rear finder LCD screen is there. I think they're the same. Now, one benefit with the ZV-E1 is it definitely records better audio. You know, that multi-capsule mic that's in the top there is kind of nice. So if you're just recording ambient sound, you know, you can see here, you just have the really tiny little microphones, you know, on the camera. So if that's something important to you, you might want to take a look at the ZV-E1. But if you do photos, I think I'm going to do a video on some photo comparison, because I'll tell you, for a 12 megapixel camera, the ZV-E1 does take some pretty nice photos, but they're only 12 megapixels. A7C Mark II is a 24 megapixel camera. So guys, there's my quick look at this camera. Be sure to come back to my channel, like, share, and subscribe, because I'm going to have more videos on it and more testing on it to see what it can do. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.